Hello, and welcome to another lesson on the ARK development kit. Today I will be covering clutter layers, or also known as detail layers. A clutter layer will assign certain objects towards a texture on your terrain. So you can assign it to either your grass, to your beach, whatever texture you have pasted it on. It will apply certain objects, meshes, grass, foliage, whatever, to it. It is purely a static though. A player can actually disable this option in-game and you will not be able to see any of it. So keep that in mind while you are designing your map, and don't think that as soon as you've added this clutter layer you do not need to add any more grass or any other stones because they are already in the clutter layer. No, these are all static and nobody can pick them up or interact with it. I have already created a clutter layer here to demonstrate what it actually is. And as you can see, if I toggle this on and off, you'll see this grass and these stones appear. But it's not on my grass, or on my underwater, or on the static meshes that I've created here, these rocks. Also not here on my rock texture. You get the concept. That is because I have assigned a certain layer ID to my clutter layer. Okay, so now that you know the basics on clutter layers, I'm going to delete this one and we're going to create one on our own. To start off, you're going to go towards your modes tab and you're going to search for clutter. As soon as you do that, you will see ground clutter layer actor. You're just going to drag that onto your map, and first thing that you want to do is change your absolute location to 0, 0, 0. If you do not do this, your clutter layer will be shifted and it will either not appear on the spot you want it, or it's just going to be it's going to have an offset. Okay, first things first, we're going to add a static mesh. If you do not, it doesn't really matter which static mesh you pick, but if you don't have one, your clutter layer will not appear. So for this one, I'm going to pick rock group 01 clutter. Now if I quickly deselect and reselect it, you will see that two materials have been added. The second one, we're going to change that one to this one that is above. So that is going to be mi underscore small rocks ground clutter. And if we scroll down a bit, you'll see here at the rendering tab, two materials have been added. And the first one is going to be none. We're going to change that to the same one as well, mi small rocks ground clutter. Now we've got that set up, and we're going to add our clutter meshes. So I'm going to add two elements because I'm going to add a grass layer and those beautiful rocks that you just saw. Let's start off with the rocks. To quickly explain all these options, the density is basically the amount or how close you want the rocks to be there and the amount of rocks. So to quickly demonstrate, I'm going to type small rock on 01 clutter. As you can see, I've now added the small rock clutter 1, but it's still not appearing. Why not? This is because we have not assigned the right layer ID to this clutter layer. If I assign the layer, or if I change the layer ID to 1, you'll see my beautiful rocks will be added to the sand. Now you're asking yourself, how do I know which layer ID I have to use for each texture? You can find that in your layer details. If you go towards your paint section on your landscape mode, these shared layer infos, they will contain the data that you need. If you hit the spyglass on the right, your content browser will go towards it, and then you can hit details. Here you can see the landscape info ID. Now back to our clutter layer. We've added these rocks. The density, as you can see, if I crank this up, you'll see that a lot more rocks will appear. So for now, we're going to leave this at 0.1. The minimum size and maximum size kind of speak for itself. If I put the minimal size higher, they will be bigger, and the max size is just on how it's going to vary in these rocks. You see we have some small rocks and we have some gigantic rocks now. Alright, I'm going to set these to 1 and 2. So there's a little bit of scaling difference. The generation seed is basically the algorithm that you change the algorithm that has been applied to this clutter layer. So if I would put this to 1, you'll see that the rocks will change position. It's just the game will think of a new method to or a new algorithm to apply these meshes to your texture. I'm gonna put the seed to 3 now because I'm following the settings of the main map at the moment. You can do whatever you want with these settings, but I'm just following these. Alright, now to the second element, we're gonna add our grass. We're gonna change the density to 1 here. We're gonna set the minimum size to 1.3, the maximum size to 2.7, and we actually forgot that on the rocks you want to disable the shadows. Now that I've done that, I'm gonna search here for clutter grass, and as you can see that I will pick 02. Now that we've done that, we've got some beautiful grass going on here. And a quick thing, clutter because we still have terrain running underneath this rock, it's not gone underneath there. If I fly inside this rock, you can see the clutter is still inside. But yeah, let's give this a quick play, and you can see how it looks in game. As I'm walking here, you can see that we have our beautiful grass, but if I hit E, I cannot pick up any of these rocks. It's purely aesthetic. You really have to keep that in mind. So now that we have seen on how to add clutter layer or clutter to our map, I'm going to show you what the settings of the main map are. You can always vary and make them your own, but if anybody wants to copy the same layers as from the main map, I'm just going to show you what the settings are so that you know them. Alright, so we have now arrived on the main map. If you scroll down in your scene outliner, you'll be able to find all these ground clutter layers. You can basically just copy paste the settings from there. If you here go towards pretty much any environment, you'll see all the ground clutter layers. This will probably be the jungle leaves here. As I select it, you'll see it and everything is good. Here we have the shared grass, and what shall this be? This will probably be some ground, or is it gonna be the beach? Yeah, here we have a beach pebbles, but the beach general, that is this. It's something else. But yeah, you can basically fly around the map and you'll see the clutter layers appearing everywhere. But keep in mind, this is not, it's purely aesthetic, as I've said before. The settings, I would basically just suggest copying pasting them. If I'm going to show all the settings over here, it's gonna take at least another 20 minutes, so that's gonna take a long while. I would just suggest either hardcore copy pasting them, so just shift selecting, Ctrl C, and then load up your map, Ctrl V, tweak the settings if you feel like it, otherwise just leave them like that and you'll be fine. That was it for this lesson. If you have any questions, you can post them in the comment section and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible.